Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Coalfield Chronicles. Today, we are taking a look at the second unit in CSX's popular Pride and Service series, CSX 911. For each episode surrounding the Pride and Service series, I had the pleasure of speaking with their designer, Mr. Tyler Hardin. With a massive thanks to him, I am able to bring you all an inside look as to how these units came to life. CSX 911 first graced the system with its presence in 2019 as a part of CSX's Pride and Service series. The series would take key positions in our everyday lives and commemorate a locomotive to its practice as CSX's way of saying thank you. 911's unique design was like no other and was the first fully painted locomotive on the system from nose to rear. When it was debuted alongside CSX 1776, rail fans were ecstatic. In 2019, CSX partnered with Operation Gratitude, Blue Star Families, Operation Homefront, Wounded Warriors Project, and First Responders Children's Foundation as part of their Pride and Service series. However, the hands behind the design belong to Mr. Hardin. From his experience, each unit began with a drawing by hand. While working at a Toyota factory, he would spend his breaks sketching out rough concept ideas on paper. Then, once he was happy with what he had, he would take them home and relay those sketches digitally and work the design until he was satisfied, noting that it was easier to put 10 to 15 ideas on paper first rather than go the extra mile straight into the digital world. Hardin explained that the production of the series was never directly planned, but rather a means of, in his words, putting one together and hoping that we got to do another one. With CSX 1776 now underway, he received the green light to begin work on what he thought would be the final unit, the grand finale of sorts. Hardin went on to create the design for CSX 911. He noted that the process was a lot faster this time around. For inspiration, he spoke of how he visited local fire departments and observed various fire trucks and their interesting designs. I wanted to make it look like a fire truck, but keep the locomotive essence, he said. Though the design was more intricate than 1776, it actually went through the process the quickest, with Hardin citing around a day and a half to produce the final outcome. He said, knowing what could and could not be painted helped this one come together, and also made mention that if he could change anything, he would have renamed it something along the lines of Spirit of Our Firefighters rather than Spirit of Our First Responders. In my head, this was it. This was the finale, and I wanted to assure everything got credit, as at the time we didn't know 3194 would be a thing. I wanted to go all out on this one. Hardships regarding the process was once again the limitations and tweaks made to the design. He made note also that certain creative liberties had to be given up as well for the sake of practicality. He said, "It was fun to be the designer, but you must be humble going in and knowing it's not just you. You must keep an open mind and trust their judgment." One detail that the team at Huntington added on was the banner at the rear of the locomotive that stood as a memorial for all the first responders who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. As for the engine itself, 911 was a happy accident. Hardin stated that he preferred ES44AHs and the 3000 to 3100 series for the sake of reliability. He had hoped for 911 for the sake of 911 and in recognition of the first responders who lost their lives on the September 11th attacks. 911 had worn a coat of YN3 beforehand, having been ordered as part of CSX's 900 series. Though it's what he wanted, there was no promise of the unit's use. Yet by a pure stroke of dumb luck, while on site working with 1776, 911 just so happened to be in the shops under maintenance, and things worked out. Hardin said, 911 is the closest thing to a fire truck you'll ever see on two rails, and it truly meant the world to me to see the reaction of the people. Guys who work in the field showing up to get pictures and bringing their families, and even the guys at Huntington being able to show off their work. That's what lets me know I did something right. Upon release, CSX 911 was fitted with an RS-5T horn, sourced from a locomotive that had been in service for the Army, and in which it wore for some time before being replaced. Apart from the horn, minor changes have been made to 911, with the only other notable appearance being a new set of number boards. 911 can still be found running the CSX system to this day and is a fantastic display honoring any and all first responders. You will often find community fire departments and such bringing their equipment trackside for staged photos as the unit passes by, demonstrating even more so the love for the unit and honoring the work of Hardin, Hendrickson, and the team at Huntington. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Coalfield Chronicles. A very special thank you to Tyler Hardin for the behind-the-scenes look at the creation of this unit. If you liked what you see, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss future episodes, including the remaining 2 to be done on the Pride and Service series featuring CSX 3194 and the scrapped units in the project. Be sure to leave your feedback and suggestions in the comments below as well. Until next time, from the Coalfields, this is Railfan Micah Turner. God bless y'all. Mm-hmm.